Apple just told you the price is going up. They didn't say by how much. They didn't say exactly which models. Tim Cook just said, we're still working through that, which is a very polished way of saying brace yourself. Because right now, every leak, every analyst, every supply chain report is pointing at the same number. The iPhone 18 Pro could start at $1,399. That's a $300 jump over the 17 Pro. And there's one reason for that price hike that nobody is really explaining properly. I'll get to it. But first, let me tell you what you're actually getting for that money, because some of it genuinely surprised me. This video is a full breakdown of everything we know about the iPhone 18 Pro right now. Features, pricing, the chip, the camera, the design changes. I've gone through every credible leak, every analyst report, every supply chain note published in the last 3 months. And I've landed on some opinions that I think are different from what most people are saying, especially about the price and especially about one feature that sounds boring on a spec sheet, but is actually the biggest camera upgrade Apple has shipped in half a decade. Let's get into it. So let's start with what the iPhone 18 Pro actually looks like, because the honest answer is mostly the same. Same 6.3-inch and 6.9-inch display sizes, same camera plateau on the back, same general shape. But there are 3 design changes that matter. The first one is the dynamic island. Face ID's flood illuminator is moving under the display, which means the cutout at the top shrinks. One report put the reduction at almost 50%. That's not a minor tweak. That's the smallest display interruption Apple has shipped in years. The second change is the back. The iPhone 17 Pro had a 2-tone rear, aluminum meets glass, and it looked a little stitched together. Apple heard the feedback. The 18 Pro is reportedly getting a more unified, seamless finish where those two materials blend properly, finally. And the third change, the color. Out goes cosmic orange, in comes dark cherry, which is not a bright red. Think deep wine. Think I'm expensive and I know it. It's a classy, bold look, and honestly, it might be the best signature color Apple has done in a few years. Dark cherry, light blue, dark gray, silver, those are your 4 color options for fall 2026. Now the chip. Every year I have to talk about the chip, and every year it's the same story. Faster, more efficient, great for AI. But this year is genuinely different. The A20 Pro is Apple's first chip built on a 2-nanometer manufacturing process. The A19 Pro in your iPhone 17 right now is 3 nanometer. That's not just a number. Smaller transistors mean more of them fit on the same die. More transistors means more performance and better efficiency at the same time. And Apple is also using a new packaging design called WMCM, Wafer Level Multi-Chip Module. I'm not going to pretend I fully understand the packaging engineering, but what the people who do understand it are saying is this year's chip jump should be bigger than usual. Here's why that matters beyond benchmarks. iOS 27 is shipping with Apple Intelligence features, a heavily upgraded Siri on-device AI that reads your screen, takes actions inside apps, processes natural language properly. Some of those features are already straining the A19 Pro. The A20 Pro is the chip that actually runs all of it without compromise. So yes, this year the chip upgrade is one you'll actually feel, okay? This is the part I actually want to talk about, the variable aperture camera. Every iPhone camera before this one has had a fixed aperture, one setting. The sensor captures light the same way whether you're shooting in a dark restaurant or in direct noon sunlight. Software compensates for the rest, which is genuinely impressive, but it's still software pretending to be hardware. Variable aperture changes that. On the iPhone 18 Pro, the main 48 megapixel Fusion camera will reportedly have mechanical blades like a real camera that physically control how much light reaches the sensor. In bright light, tighten the aperture, reduce overexposure, keep the image crisp. In low light, open it up, pull in more light, less noise. And for portrait style shots, you get real hardware depth of field control, not simulated blur. Real blur, think of it this way: your eye does this automatically. Your pupil shrinks in sunlight and widens in a dark room. Your iPhone camera has been guessing at that for 15 years. The A20 Pro is the first one that stops guessing. Now, here's the part that should catch your attention. Supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo says this new camera system is costing Apple roughly 50% more than the previous generation to build. That single component is a significant part of why the price is going up. And I think that's actually fine, because that's a real upgrade, not a software feature dressed up as hardware. All right, the price. Let's be honest about this. Tim Cook confirmed price increases are coming. The Wall Street Journal ran the numbers. Tech Insights published their bill of materials analysis, and the range people are throwing around is $1,299 to $1,399 for the base iPhone 18 Pro, up from $1,099 for the iPhone 17 Pro. That's a real jump. And here's the actual reason for it. And this is the part that gets glossed over in most coverage. The shortage isn't being caused by Apple. It's being caused by AI data centers. Companies building AI infrastructure are consuming enormous amounts of DRAM and NAND flash storage. The chip manufacturers, Samsung, Micron, SK Hynix, are shifting their production lines toward high bandwidth memory for AI servers because the margins are better, which means less supply of the chips that go into your phone, and economics says lower supply, same demand, prices go up. Here's what Tech Insights found specifically. Apple paid roughly $39 for the 12 gigabytes of DRAM in the iPhone 17 Pro. That same chip package could cost $145 in the iPhone 18 Pro. The 256 gigabyte flash storage tier went from about $13 to about $51. That's not Apple being greedy. That's a global supply chain problem landing on your bill. Now, the optimistic take. JP Morgan analysts put out a note saying the actual price increase might land closer to $50, not $300. Their argument is that Apple will absorb a significant portion of the cost increase rather than pass it all to consumers, partly because they need volume for Apple Intelligence adoption. So the range right now is genuinely anywhere from $1,149 to $1,399 for the base model. Nobody, including Apple, has confirmed a final number. Here's my honest take. If it lands at $1,149 or $1,199, you're getting a deal relative to what it costs to build. If it lands at $1,399, you're paying more, but you're getting a chip that's a real generational leap and a camera system that genuinely changes how the main camera works. Both scenarios are defensible. Neither is outrageous. What would be outrageous is if the features didn't match the price. And right now, based on everything we know, they do. A few more things worth knowing before you make any decisions. The C2 modem. Apple's in-house cellular chip is coming to the Pro lineup this fall. The C1 debuted in the iPhone 16e. The C1X followed in the iPhone Air, reportedly twice as fast as the C1 and the most power-efficient modem Apple has ever shipped. The C2 pushes that further. Millimeter wave 5G support, 5G via satellite, meaning actual web browsing without Wi-Fi or cellular towers, and a privacy feature that prevents mobile networks from pinpointing your exact location. That last one is actually interesting. Instead of your carrier seeing your address, they'd see your neighborhood at best. Apple is building privacy into the hardware layer now, not just the software. Battery. The Pro Max specifically is rumored to be getting a cell between 5,100 and 5,200 milliamp hours. The iPhone 17 Pro Max launched with 4,685 milliamp hours. Combined with the efficiency gains from the A20 Pro chip and the new LTPO Plus display technology, which dynamically adjusts refresh rate between 1 Hz and 120 Hz, this could be the strongest battery life an iPhone has ever shipped with. That's not nothing. So, should you care about the iPhone 18 Pro? The short answer is yes, but let me be more specific than that. If you're on an iPhone 15 or newer, you probably don't need this. The performance difference will be real, but you won't feel it in daily life yet. If you're on an iPhone 14 or older, this is actually a compelling case to upgrade because standard iPhone 18 models won't arrive until spring 2027. The Pro is the only new iPhone on the shelf this September, and it's a genuinely strong generation. The variable aperture camera alone changes how the main camera behaves. The A20 Pro chip on 2 nanometer opens up the full Apple Intelligence experience. The C2 modem brings real connectivity and privacy upgrades, and the dynamic island is finally shrinking. The price is the real variable. If Apple lands at $1,149, it's an easy call. If they land at $1,399, you need to honestly ask yourself whether you're in the market for a phone at that price and whether the upgrades justify it for your specific use. For most people who upgrade on a 2 to 3 year cycle, I think they do. But I'm curious where your head's at. If Apple announces $1,399 this September, are you still buying, or does that number change everything for you? Let me know in the comments, because depending on how this conversation goes, I might have a follow-up video that changes my answer entirely.